All right, parents of kids who are dealing with sensory challenges, sensory processing disorder, this video is for you. I want to explain one of my favorite studies and how it connects the dots between sensory struggles and what you can do to help, specifically with the vagus nerve, what we're talking about all this week. So what we need to understand is most diagnoses, most labels when it comes to neurodevelopmental challenges are not super helpful. Our perspective here at Thrive, we don't love all these labels, don't love all the diagnoses that kids get, because most of the time they don't really describe how to help that kid, right? Whether it's ADHD or autism or any of the different labels we get, none of them are connected to the why. If there's one that I'm going to hate less, it is sensory, because those sensory challenges are at the root of every single one of these perfect storm neurodevelopmental challenges. Because if we can't sense the world around us properly, we have no chance of the right behaviors and the right outputs on the other side of it. So these sensory issues are often tagged on to any of the other challenges that kids are dealing with, and correcting those are going to lead to better quality of life in all those other areas. So what took place? This study here was measuring parasympathetic function in kids with sensory processing disorder. Let me make sense of that. There's two groups, or there's two sides of our nervous system. There's the gas pedal, which is your stress, fight or flight, survival mode. It is great for when you have to run away from a bear, not so great for everyday life, because the brake pedal gets turned off if we're stuck in stress. And the brake pedal is your rest, your relaxation, your digestion, your immune system, your focus, all of the wellness things are going to be in that parasympathetic brake pedal side. So what this study wanted to do was say, how well is that parasympathetic function, what's run through the vagus nerve, how well is that functioning in kids with sensory challenges? So what they did is they took two groups, neurotypical, no problems, no issues kids, measured the vagus nerve, and kids struggling with sensory challenges. And what did they find? The kids with sensory disorder, sensory processing issues, had a lower vagal tone. What that means is their vagus nerve, that upper neck cranial nerve, was turned down, less activation. They took it a step further though, which I love, and they took the group of sensory struggling kiddos and sort of put them out on a spectrum of, all right, these are the most severe findings, these are the more mild ones. And what they found is that the vagal tone, the vagal nerve activation, really mapped to that as well. The worse the vagal nerve was, the vagus nerve was, the worse the sensory symptoms were too. So their recommendation was, let's do things to better activate that parasympathetic nervous system. Let's do things to turn the vagus nerve back on to help kids regulate with sensory challenges, cope to their environment better than they were, which I love. This is so key to understanding how to help our kids. But that leads to the question of, what can we do to help the vagus nerve? And there's a lot of external things, whether it's, as adults, we talk about breathing and how we can regulate our breathing better. There's different singing, humming, chanting things that can help work on that. But what we want to do is do that not from an external perspective, but from an internal one. Just help your body function as it's supposed to. When we've got a lot of upper cervical stress, tension at the top of the neck, it's more or less turning off the brakes, turning on the gas pedal. So it's doing exactly what this study is talking about. And that is why, in a nutshell, we see so many cool things happening in kids with sensory processing challenges. It's because we get the vagus nerve turned back on, and a lot of the sensory challenges slowly integrate and aren't even an issue anymore. So please dig into this more. If you're a nerd like me and you want to find all the details and the nuances out, send us a message. We'll send you the link or the PDF. And if you're a kid, or if you're a parent of a kid who's dealing with these sort of challenges, we'd love to help answer those questions of what's really going on, what's happening behind the scenes. The same technology they use in this study to measure the vagus nerve is what we use as well, HRV, heart rate variability. We're going to use that to see how are they functioning, and then have a game plan, have a roadmap to making sure that kid is at their best. I hope this helps, guys. Please reach out if you got any more questions, and I can't wait to meet you in the office soon and help your family thrive.